Hey y'all, how's it going? Hi y'all! So it's another brain scrubbing, this time in the morning, pre-coffee, pre-constitutional, so we'll see how this goes. Everything is an experiment at this point. So yesterday I talked about Halloween, and I kind of wanted to just forget about it. That's almost done, except for the fact that I just mentioned it 5 seconds ago. But I was rewatching the video and I realized at a certain point I was talking about gore and how it can either add to a story or when I think it serves a purpose or not. And I realized I didn't actually give a good example. And so I'm actually going to kind of contradict another thing I said, where I said the last decent or good horror movie that I saw, or the one that really made an impact, was The Descent. And that's not true. I've forgotten about this movie until I was rewatching the video. But there's one that came out, I think, in 2015 called Bone Tomahawk, with Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, also known as the Ocean Master, Matthew Fox from Lost, and then some other people. So it's, I can't remember who directed it. It's the guy that did Ouija. He did this movie called Hush, which was actually a pretty good, down and dirty, simple little thriller about this deaf mute lady who's being stalked by a crazy guy in a mask. It was actually pretty good. Under 90 minutes. Decent, quick story. More of a thriller, not necessarily a horror movie, but anyway. So the guy that did Bone Tomahawk has some bona fides. And it's kind of hard to... It's a Western, it's a thriller, and I guess it's a horror movie, but it's sort of straddling the line there, in the sense that it's about cannibals, and but all right, quick synopsis of the story. It takes place in the West. I can't remember exactly where, but Kurt Russell is the grizzled old sheriff, and Patrick Wilson is his deputy, and they live on the frontier or the edge of this kind of cursed land where this tribe of Neanderthals, basically, or they call them Cro-Magnons in the IMDb page, but basically even like primitive men. So they're cannibalistic, and they've been known to kidnap people and eat them over the years, and it's kind of this legend. Nobody knows where they're at. So they come into town and kidnap Patrick Wilson's wife, and so then they have to set off to rescue her. Very simple story. So most of the movie is them just trekking across the frontier, and you see the different personalities develop, and it's good in the sense that the script is really smart. It's the characters speak like you would expect characters to speak like back then. Like there's this part where they're fanning out. They think somebody's around their campsite, and Kurt Russell's giving orders, and he tells the guy with a shotgun, basically watch her back, but he says like watch her backside, and the dialogue really rings authentically, and the characters have distinct personalities. It's really well done. So you learn to care about these people, even the obligatory racist asshole. Even he has moments where moments of humanity, and so it's very well done in that sense. And it is a violent movie, but it's in really to quote Hicks from Aliens, short, controlled bursts. And this is kind of where the gore comes into play. The whole point of this. So there is gore in it, but it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not exploitative. It's not there for just the sake of being there. And it serves the story. It's part of the story. I mean, if you're going to do a movie about, you know, pre-Homo sapien cannibals, there's going to be some pretty nasty shit involved. And so, not to give too much of the plot away, I mean, really there isn't much plot. It's Kurt Russell and his band are walking across the frontier, and Patrick Wilson is trying to catch up, because I can't remember exactly what happens. He breaks his leg or gets shot or something early in the movie, and they have to abandon him, but he just keeps like trekking behind, and it's kind of a neat way how the movie marks time, where or transitions between scenes. They'll have some kind of dramatic scene or some, you know, character tension within the main group, and then that's followed up by a really beautiful shot of him, you know, his silhouette just like tracking, you know, right to left across the screen, heading out west, you know, and trying to rescue his wife. And it's pretty very visually poetic. But there's pretty much, I'm not going to give too much away, but you don't really think it doesn't turn into a real horror movie, so to speak, until the very end, pretty much, the climax. And oh boy, when it fucking goes, I haven't seen Audition, but from what I've heard, it's a real slow burn. You know, I've had it described to me, and I get the gist of it, and I've seen clips. You know, it's 2 hours of boring drama. Well, not boring, but I don't know, just like slow, methodical character building drama, punctuated by this spasm of you know, almost orgasmic violence. And that's sort of what Bone Tomahawk is. And it's very good, and it's a case where the nasty shit serves the story. It's not just there for the sake of being gross, which is what I think a lot of horror movies try to do. And you know, also, like I said yesterday, that's fine when it's done for schlock or shock value. I'm okay with that. But when all you have is making the audience squirm and just making it feel uncomfortable, like, oh, yeah, I gotta go barf, or now I'm gonna swear off red meat, blah blah blah. That's not really my thing. So check it out. Kurt Russell brings value to anything, in my opinion. He's pretty much, if not my favorite, one of my favorite actors. I'll watch just about anything with him in it. Even Dark Blue was okay. And I think he was really one of the few decent things about Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was the fact that Kurt Russell was in it, and that he was wearing an Elvis outfit sometimes. So yeah, Bone Tomahawk, check it out. It's pretty good. I'm sure it's out there on some kind of service. It's definitely worth a rental. And it's also one of those movies where I've seen it, and I liked it, and I can appreciate it, but I do not feel the need to ever watch it again. It's kind of like one of those things, sort of like you know, like American Beauty's like that. Not a horror movie, I know, but the same thing. Was like, you watched it, I enjoyed it, I could appreciate it for what it was, but I was like, I don't need to see this ever again. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, or don't. Feel free. Like, subscribe. Any kind of feedback is, you know, no news is not good news in this kind of thing, as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, take care. Have a good day. I'll try to get another video in when I am driving home from work, as opposed to driving to work. So it'll be interesting to see the difference in tone. The uncaffeinated, anticipatory tone of this one, and the overcaffeinated, overly stressed out tone of the next one. Let's see how that goes. Anyway, take it easy. Have a good one.